along with. Try this back here. Now, since we've got this thing centered, you may want to tilt to the left or right. There's enough in there holding it that it shouldn't go anywhere. Just be careful. Out of the front one. Get the end.
Got it?
Alright. Now at this point, we need to lower the cradle enough to give us clearance to remove the sway bar. When we start lowering the cradle, the springs are going to fall out. That's expected, so don't freak out if it happens. If you're just doing springs and shocks, this thing articulates enough where you can actually do one side of the cradle, lower it down, replace the spring, put the new shock in, and then push it back up, and then do them one side at a time. The only reason we took all 4 bolts out of the cradle and we're lowering the whole thing is because we're doing the sway bar. Important distinction to make. Alright. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to lower it down some. And if you'll notice, the cradle will drop. Slowly lowering the cradle down.
This one's starting to pinch.
What's that? Oh, it's fine.
Okay.
Alright, the springs are just about the point where we get the springs out. I'll lower it down a little bit more. Keep an eye on your lines. As Dave pointed out, this one here looks like it might be a little bit. But see, now at this point, we've got it lowered enough where we can tilt it either way and get everything in and out that we need to do. So we're in good shape. If you're doing this on the ground, obviously you'd use a floor jack under here. Lower the floor jack until you get your cradle where your springs are just about cleared. You can notice that they're sloppy loose on both sides. This will also a lot easier to get the shocks out. And we'll also be able to replace the sway bar because the sway bar is bolted to the top of the cradle. So I'm going to lower this down now. See the amount of gap you got in here. This is required due to the nature of the sway bar in order to get it threaded in and out through here. So our next step is to remove the bolts on the retainer, the bushings or whatever. And it is a 15 millimeter. Alright, driver's and passenger side's done. Same passenger side mounts. Highly recommend ratchet wrenches for this job. Although you could probably get a stubby socket and a ratchet in there. You might have to come at it from a different angle though. Looks like somebody left a rubber band on there from the factory.
Brampton.
Did you read that thread about Brampton Builder who he puts that BB on the ABS?
Yeah.
Did you see that? I checked my car. He didn't do my car. And the sway bar is loose. And now it's just a challenge of getting it threaded through without ripping out your brake lines. Get yours.
I'm good.
Well, no, you're gonna. If you go towards you, you're gonna snag the brake line. Gotta get that. There you go. come my way.
Hold on, hold on, hold on. Oh, wait, easy. I'm right-handed, by the way.
Out. Well,
There's the Hotchkiss to the left and then the stock one to the right.
you can notice the Hotchkiss Swaybar is significantly bigger. Thought you did all the prep on this. Doesn't look like much prep to me there, mister.
And as you can see under there, I did the front earlier. We're live.
Alright, so now I'm going to thread the new Swaybar in. Alright, now you're going to have to help me around that brake line.
Daddy, I got a letter from Chris.
You got a what?
A letter from Chris.
Very cool.
It's 4 pages long.
Good.
Alright, so now let's orient our bushings. Here, you can record all this. Alright, so we got our bushings on there. Gonna slide them into place and take our new bracket with the zert facing out, put it over, bushing, everything all lined up.
Definitely, you would want to do the sway bar and the springs together if you're gonna at one time.
Yeah, together at one time as opposed to together different
Two
times.
separate.
Yeah. Yeah, simultaneously, but different. No.
Yeah, I think dropping the cradle once would be enough.
Yeah. Actually, I did mine twice because I did the Ibach springs, and then I found out that without the match shocks, it was like riding on a hard tie. We should have only worked with one glove today in honor of Michael Jackson's death.
I still haven't gotten past Farrah passing.
Yeah,
My
I
heart's
remember that was one of the most popular posters on the ship when I was in the Navy. She was the most popular pinup girl by far. At least of those that had clothes on. So we're sitting here. We got our Swaybar in and mounted. We'll hook these pieces back up when we're done. So if you'll notice, the spring comes right out.